Recently, the Pokémon Company announced the next major Pokémon mobile game in the form of Pokémon Masters. This title takes the game's motto of "Gotta catch 'em all," or at least that was the game's motto before Sword and Shield, but RIP, and instead moves that from the Pokémon themselves to the trainers. Yes, we're in a fight club now. Okay, so the trainers aren't actually fighting themselves, as each one comes with a single specific Pokémon companion, and the game's first true trailer has shown us a massive number of trainers that DeNA and the Pokémon Company will be using to squeeze us players out of our hard-earned Pokédollars. But with so many trainers across all generations of Pokémon, some of you may not be aware where these trainers originally came from, and who their partner of choice is. So in this video, I wanted to go over all the confirmed sync pairs so far, and then in another video I will speculate on who the sync pairs will be for the trainers with unconfirmed Pokemon. I know people hate two-parters, but when I wrote the script out for this it was like, oh my Arceus, that's too long. So let's tackle this in debut order, although I'm not going to go over all the generic trainer classes. While they do come from different games, we don't know if they will be used as generic enemies like the Grunts in Fire Emblem Heroes, or if they can be recruited as low-level allies. I'm personally going with the former, as even without them there are a lot of potential partners here. So let's start from the very beginning. Of course, we have to start with the original protagonist himself, Red, who comes with a Charizard. As the original hero, Red has appeared in numerous titles over the years, only being absent from Generation 6. Red is unique though in that he is the only returning trainer to have a unique design for this game, which likely means he will be very important. Although this isn't as surprising considering every millennial's longtime rival, Blue, appears to be taking the traditional professor role in this game, introducing players to the world of Pokémon Masters, although we have no doubt he can also be recruited. Unlike Red, he uses his Heart Gold and Soul Silver design from when he was a gym leader, and his main Pokemon is a Pidgeot, presumably because he gave his starter to Red before Gold and Silver. While I don't doubt Green will come with one of the missing starters, I wonder where the other will end up. Next up we have the series' first gym leader and a fan favourite, Braack. Braack is confirmed to be one of the player's first units, acting as your coach, and comes with his signature Onix. Just like Blue, he also sports his Heart Gold and Soul Silver design, which is quite common for many of the Gen 1 trainers who saw a redesign. However, with that said, Misty is another fan favourite and comes paired with her signature Starmie from the games. Unlike the last two gym leaders shown, her outfit isn't actually from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but instead from the recent Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. She's the only confirmed character to have her design from this game, which is pretty interesting. She looks like an early opponent in the story mode, so I wonder what her rarity will be like. Next up is another gym leader, and counter to Misty, we have Erica, the grass gym leader, and her signature Vileplume. Unlike the others before her, she uses her Fire Red and Leaf Green designs, as opposed to any of her updated ones. She isn't the only Gen 1 gym leader to do this, but you'll have to wait until the next video to see that. The final Gen 1er with a confirmed Pokemon is the Elite Four member and champion Lance, who comes with Gen 1's only 3rd stage Dragon type, Dragonite. Lance uses his champion design from Heart Gold and Soul Silver, implying he will be playing the role of a champion class trainer once more. Continuing on the Dragon hype train, we have Lance's cousin Claire, the only Gen 2 trainer with a confirmed Mon. She uses her signature Kingdra and her Heart Gold and Soul Silver design. Having a Stage 3 Pokemon as her main implies maybe she will be a high star trainer right off the bat, but that could be debated as well, which we will cover in a short while. Ooh, the teasers. Finally, another protagonist with Ruby and Sapphire's hero, Brendan, who is sporting his Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire look. I'm just going to refer to those games as Oraz from now on, as it rolls off the tongue better. Brendan has a Treecko, our first Stage 1 starter, but will that last? Next up is Brendan's dad, Norman, or possibly May's dad depending on the character you choose to play as, but May isn't here right now, so she misses out on that familial love. Norman appears early on, but is actually the 4th gym leader, and uses a Slacking. His design is also taken from Oraz. Now another gym leader, we have Flannery, the fire-type user of Laveridge Town. Sporting her Oras design, Flannery uses a Torkoal, our first Pokemon with no evolution. I wonder how that will affect her rarity and growth. Next up we have the champion of the Hoenn region, Stephen Stone, and his partner Metagross. Stephen unsurprisingly uses his Oras design, and like all the champions he seems like he will have a prominent role in the game's campaign. He technically debuts before Flannery, but you fight him afterwards, and including him here also allows for me to segue into the champion of the Sinnoh region. Cynthia is an incredibly popular character and utilises a Garchomp. Despite having multiple appearances after her debut, she has never been redesigned once in the games, so her design here is her original one. She also looks like she may have a prominent role in the game's early levels, although not as a player unit. That will probably come later. The rival character of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Barry is one of the first trainers you meet, and so I should have put him before Cynthia, but whatever, I knew people couldn't wait to see her. You're all just as impatient as Barry is, who comes with his original design here instead of his platinum long sleeves. Interestingly, he comes with a Piplup, which is usually given to Dawn. I'm not sure why this decision was made to give it to him, but maybe we will find out when we see the others. The only new gym leader from Gen 4 with a confirmed Pokemon, this water wrestler comes with Floatzel, a Pokemon that I think needs more love and attention. The always flamboyant wrestler is sure to be a fan favourite in Masters thanks to his eccentricities. I wonder how long he would keep the kayfabe up before joining your side of the fight. Possibly one of the most bizarre confirmed choices, Thornton is a frontier brain who only appeared in Pokemon Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Because he is the frontier brain of the Battle Factory, he only uses rental Pokemon, not having a canonical partner, but here he is seen with a Brozong of all things. Maybe Game Freak desperately needed some dedicated Steel-type trainers? And next we have Caitlyn, who was part of the Battle Frontier in Platinum, however her design this time is taken from her role in the Elite Four during Black and White. Her partner is the Psychic-type Ranunculus. I wonder if this game will attempt to explain the age discrepancies between characters, as there is at least a minimum of 3 in-game years between her original appearance in this one, and then another 2 for Black 2 and White 2. Yet Barry doesn't look a day older than when he was 10. Let's just blame Celebi and move on. We may as well go in reverse for Black and White, so I can stick to the Elite Four members now. Also, it's my video, I can do what I want, leave me alone. Grimsley is a Dark-type trainer and uses a Lipard. His design is his original one from Black and White, as opposed to his casual attire in X and Y. Iris is one of the Dragon Gym leaders of Black and White and was one of Ash's companions in the anime. She uses her pre-champion design from Black and White and has her signature Haxorus. She also appears to be an early unit, which may explain why she isn't in her champion form. Maybe this implies Alder will be in the game as well, seeing as he is the only unconfirmed champion so far. Whoops, that's a spoiler alert there. Up next is the flying gym leader Skylar, who uses her original design from Black and White. She has a Swanna, and there isn't really much else I can say about her, so moving on. Another popular Gen 5 gym leader, Elisa, appears alongside her Zebstriker. Lisa is the only Black and White gym leader so far to use her updated Black 2 and White 2 design, although she isn't the only character from the game to do so. One of your rivals from the original Black and White, Cherian took the blue route and grew up to become a gym leader, specialising in normal types. He uses a Stoutland and is modelled on his gym leader design from Black 2 and White 2. Finally, we get to Rosa, the female protagonist of Black 2 and White 2, and this title's highlight unit so far, at least as far as the internet is concerned. Just look at how cute she is while she thinks. She starts with a Snivy, but promotional artwork has shown her with the evolved form Superior. This brings up a lot of questions for us as speculators, as it seemingly confirms that Pokemon do indeed evolve in this game. But that raises other questions like, does every character start with their base form Pokemon or not? Or is it based on rank instead, i.e. a 5-star Rosa comes with a Superior, but a 3-star one with a Snivy? And this artwork also brings the question if every Pokemon is available. After all, it shows all the champions with their most evolved Pokemon, but Braack lacks a Steelix. So does that imply Steelix isn't available? It's hard to say. Either way, Rosa's prominence here along with Brock's implies she is also an early unit for the player, possibly given for free alongside Braack. A random choice for sure, but I ain't complaining. Now, onto Gen 6, and the final champion from the initial teaser image. Diantha is the famous actress and Kalos League champion who comes with her signature Gardevoir. This Gardevoir can most likely Mega Evolve, as we know that Mega Evolutions are in the game, but will that make her a better unit than the rest? It's hard to say. The same thing can be said for... Karina is one of the early gym leaders in X and Y and helps introduce Mega Evolutions to the player with her signature Lucario. We've seen already that her Lucario can Mega Evolve, so we will just have to wait and see how this mechanic works in the future. Personally, a lot of the Generation 6 gym leaders after the first 4 are really forgettable, so it wasn't until I saw Wulfric in the trailer that I remembered he even existed. Same for his Pokemon, Avalugg, who is just a bit of a generic ice turtle. Regardless, Masters is the perfect game to shine a light on forgotten trainers like him. Now, on to Generation 7, and we have our first Pokemon Professor in Professor Kukui from Sun and Moon. He uses the daytime version of Lycanroc, which is interesting for a reason I will get to when discussing our predicted characters later on. Next is one of Sun and Moon's trial captains, being Acerola. This ghost user utilises a Palossand, which I find a little odd, as I was sure Mimikyu would have made more sense for her, but apparently not. I'm sure Mimikyu is somewhere in the game though, if you dare look for one. Our penultimate confirmed trainer also comes with an interesting Pokemon for speculation purposes. Nanu, one of Sun and Moon's kahunas, utilises an Alolan form of Persian. Will this be the only Persian in the game, or is regular Persian here as well? We'll have to see. And finally, the protagonists of Pokémon Masters and our first Gen 8 trainer. Does Masters count as Gen 8? The player character can be either gender and is selected at the start, but regardless of who you pick, it appears a Pikachu will be your partner, which is hardly surprising to see. There are some other original trainers introduced for Masters, but at this point in time it's hard to tell if they're going to be recruitable or just villains, so I chose to leave them out of this video. And with that, we have covered every Pokemon Master in the game that has their Pokemon confirmed, but this only really covers about half of the known trainers so far. So in part 2 of our Pokemon Masters coverage, we're going to be looking at all the confirmed trainers with unconfirmed Pokemon, and give our reasoning for which Pokemon will likely appear with them. If you like this video, please leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that alert icon so that you can be up to date with all of our latest videos. I want to thank all of our wonderful patrons who are appearing on screen right now. They're all super great people. With that, always remember to return to the source.